line, get my daughter out of line. You know, I'm a comedian. Look, I had somebody come up to me and ask me, is that really your family member? I'm like, no, folks, relax. Are you from Alabama? They're from Mississippi, close enough. But good to have y'all back, man. People always ask me when I'm not performing, what do I do on the ship to pass time? And basically, I walk around and watch y'all do stupid stuff. And y'all have not disappointed me at all. I walked around the pool today and all I gotta say is for some of you women, the two-piece is not your friend. And if you laugh and you saw the same stuff I was looking at, and if you ain't laughing, you the one we were looking at. There comes a time in your life with friends, man. But people just do stuff. I mean, if you don't want to do what I do, just watch the people. I did the Welcome Aboard show first night. I'm a pretty big dude. I'm 6'4", weigh 289 pounds. But I try to be a nice guy. I mind my business. You know, and I try to help when I can. Finish the Welcome Aboard show. Some people knew me, they recognized me, some people didn't. Obviously, the night that I was walking to my cabin the first night, the lady in the hallway didn't know me. For the sake of this joke, let's just say she was from Casper, Wyoming. As I'm walking to my cabin, I see her trying to get the slot in the door, you know, the little key thing. Then I noticed that she looked at me, her hand started shaking even more. Why y'all laughing at that part of the joke? But I was laughing too, because I could see that she kept looking and you could see she was panicking. So I looked behind me to see if anybody was coming. Then I realized it was just her and I. And I said, oh snap, she's scared. So I did what any brother would do in that situation. Give me the damn key. I mean, if she's thinking it, I might as well play it all the way out. But I didn't do that. You know, I didn't do that. But I did help her. I said, no, man, take your time. And when the light turns green, the door opens. So I helped her. She gets to the other side and said, thank you, sir. You're a nice one. See, I don't get upset. I went to my room and wrote that down. Because what I was thinking to myself, I was like, what the heck is a nice one? You know? I mean, black people are not crazy. I mean, we'll shoot you. But we'll never eat you. Jeffrey Dahmer belonged to y'all. And I saw the Netflix documentary they had on Jeffrey Dahmer. It was some stuff I never knew. No, man, do you know that the first trial they had for Jeffrey was to see if he was insane? I'm not a judge or a lawyer, but if you got a half an ass in the refrigerator, you're crazy. If people come to your house and your baloney has a real first name, you're crazy, man. But everywhere you go, man, strange things. Like, they won't tell you this. I should have told y'all on the first night. When you use the elevator on the cruise ship, there's a 2-floor minimum. I mean, if you're going from 2 to 9, I ain't got no problem. But if you go from 2 to 3, I'm not letting you off. Especially these lazy kids that's on this cruise ship. One kid gonna get on 4 and then push 5. I said, really? I don't feel like walking up the stairs. I thought they'd take him overboard. You feel like swimming? Go on in and push 5. I'm on deck too, so I'm always in the elevator, you know. Good looking when they got in the day right behind me, you know. Good looking. Trying to be smooth, you know. I said, hey baby, what floor are you going to? Because I don't want your fingers to do no work. I'm trying to be a player, you know. What floor, baby? What floor? She didn't say that. She just looked at me. I said, which floor, sweetie? I pushed the button for you. And then she said, baraka, 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 baraka. I didn't know what she said, so I pushed all the buttons. She says, no one play. I said, oh, you don't speak no English. She said, no one play. I said, you don't understand anything I'm saying? She says, no, I'm glad. Anything I say to you, you have no idea. I said, man, you got a nice ass. She said, I understand that. And then that's when I realized, you know what? That's what we should start doing. When we don't want to deal with people, just act like we don't speak the language. You know? That's right. When you go to the bank, it's a long line. I'll go to the back, go straight to the front. Excuse me, sir, but the line starts back there. No, the line starts back there. You can go this time. Because even some of the people on the ship don't act like they don't let them fool you. They understand. You know? Oh, yeah, they understand. Like my cabin store. He from the Philippines. He been smiling all week. Ain't said nothing. Just, oh, how you doing, sir? How about a great day? Anything you need, let me know. I take care of the roof for you. Come to the show. I give him an extra $20 because he been a really great cabin store. I said, hey, man, you did a great job. I appreciate all your work this week. He said, oh, bro, good looking out, dog. I said, what happened to the accent? He said, that's where I get my money, player. I'm from Cleveland. Oh, man. They make you wash your hands when you go into that windjammer, don't they? No, where the hell that come from? Washing. You know the sad part about it is when you go home, every time somebody got to wash their hands, you're going to say that. Watch. When you go, wash your hands. Yeah, yummy for tummy. I've never in my life been to a buffet that they put in a circle. Y'all look like a bunch of bumper cars up there. Which way you going? Which way you going? Wait, so y'all stop. Why they cut me off? All I want is some French fries. Just trying to figure out which way does the line start, man. Oh, man. Oh. And I've seen a couple kids. I wish they were mine for 2 days. Thank you. One person wanted to applaud, but he was scared. And the rest of y'all got nervous. I was up in the red jacket, right? I was listening to this mother ask her child, what did he want to eat? He said, I don't want that. I don't eat that. I don't want nothing. And then she was begging him, you got to eat something, please. Eat something. And I'm thinking, why beg? Just put something on the plate and he'll eat. Eventually. And every time he says he's hungry, take out the same plate. I remember when I got 2 kids, right? I got 2 kids and I got divorced from their mother because I was crazy. See, that's a self-deflective joke there. I wasn't crazy, I just got caught cheating. I'm lying, I didn't get caught. Anyway. No, I was married. I've been married 3 times, you know. People always ask me, you know, what's wrong with you? And I said, I'm gonna keep trying till I get it right. Or I can get some money out the deal. I've been married 3 times. My first wife, her name is Repressed Memory. That's why I can't remember none of that stuff, man. And then I got married the second time, right? I got married the second time, I had 2 kids and everything. And after 15 years of marriage, she decided, you know, she didn't want to be married anymore. And folks, don't get me wrong. If things don't work out, you know, cool. But when I have advice for married couples, especially young men who just got married, I tell them honestly, hey man, I know you love her and she's in love with you, but anything that you like, when you get off this cruise, go home and put it in your mother's name. I don't see none of the women laughing at that part of the joke. No, I'm serious, but I lost it all. House, kids, car, they gave her my car. She took my car, put personalized plates on my car. Was his. That ain't funny. The judge told that to get an $800,000 alimony until she ever died to be married. I looked at my lawyer and said she'd be dead in 2 weeks. That's a lot of money to pay a woman that couldn't cook. Did you hear what I just said? Cook. Used to wake up in the morning for breakfast, smell bacon and eggs that was coming from next door. Walk downstairs to my house and get a big bowl of cereal on the TV. Big bowl of grape nuts. Have you ever had grape nut cereal before? That's some hard cereal. You can put it in milk and stay hard for 2 years. And that's when I realized you can kill a person with grape nuts. You just pour some in a sock, Then pop him upside the head. Police never know what's killing. I don't know, Chief, we keep finding rape that's there the head. You know, I think we got a serial killer on the loose. Come on, folks, that's the family show. That's the family show. But serial killer. Hey, Sarah, serial killer joke is you hit him upside the head. You know, they got these 2 kids, you know, judge told me to pay child support. So, how much for the kids? He said $600 a month. I said, that ain't bad for 2 kids. And then he said, a piece. I said, one of the kids got to go. Especially that 4-year-old, because I was almost finished on the 9-year-old. Come on, folks, the jokes are not that hard. Plus, the 4-year-old didn't even look like me. He had green eyes. I don't know who the daddy really is. But I started killing him, I ain't gonna lie. I'll tell you the truth, I did. I thought about taking both of them out. $1,200 a month child, but I got, come on, man. Then I saw this commercial. There was this guy, I don't know his name, but he was walking through this village in Ethiopia. He said for the price of a cup of coffee, for just 79 cents a day, he could feed a whole family. So I packed their bags. My son said, Daddy, where are we going? I said, you want to meet your real cousins? I changed the names from Rodney and Ryan to Unfufume and Unjujube. I gave them $20, they didn't like kings. Every month, they will send me a picture and a letter. But the thing about it is, here's the deal. See, my kids would come spend the summers with me, you know. And this is what I know about kids, you know, food and all that stuff. Because my daughter, my youngest daughter, she didn't like certain things, you know. And her mother would cater to her. But I was from the old school. It was one meal, one plate, one table, one child. I'm not fixing stuff according to your life. And I remember when she first came to visit, I had fixed her this steak, baked potato, and broccoli, and some bread. And she said, Daddy, all I want is the bread. I said, you gotta eat the whole meal here, baby. She said, at my mama's house, I don't have to eat the whole meal. I said, well, you ain't at your mama's house. You at your daddy's old house. And here at my mama's house, you got to eat all your food. She said, but Daddy, I don't want it. I said, but then don't eat. She was about 6 years old. She said, well, can I go outside and play? I said, sure. So she went outside, and I knew eventually that hunger would get to her. And sure enough, I looked out the window, and she was laying in the grass. I said, what's wrong with you? She said, I'm hungry. I said, come on in and eat. I got a steak, baked potato, broccoli, and some bread. She said, I told you I don't eat that. I'm going to bed. Good night. The next morning, she woke up. She said, Daddy, where's the milk for the Captain Crunch? I said, no, baby, we eat meals in order here. She said, what do you mean? I said, you got to eat last night's dinner before you get breakfast. She said, well, Daddy, I told you I don't eat that. I said, well, then you won't eat. And then around 11 o'clock, I heard the microwave going. She had put the plate in there. And then I came downstairs, I said, what are you doing? She said, oh, this is a good steak. I love this. I can give my daughter Spam on Ritz crackers and pickle juice to wash it down. She would eat it and drink it and be thankful. You could tell by the delayed response, they didn't really like that joke. That's too cool for this audience. What is wrong, folks? Relax. You're the parent. You pay for them to be on the cruise. They got to do what you tell them. Y'all buy these kids crazy now. Y'all try to cater to them. I wish I would. My daddy told me, I said, Daddy, how come I don't have no opinion around here? He said, because you don't pay none of the mortgage. I'm going to just do this joke on this side of the room. Oh, that's that's not right. They should have an opinion. Absolutely not. I put my daughter out. She gonna tell me what she ain't gonna do. I said, lady, you been tripping around here. You know, in Texas, there's an 800 number you can call. If your parents hit you, they can come and investigate. If they had the number when I was a kid, my mother be doing triple life. I don't even think the number would have saved us. Where you going? I'm calling people on you. You can't put your hands on us. Call them. And tell them when they get here, I'm going to beat them too. I was wondering if you could come investigate my mother. She beat me and my brother. Mama, that man said he'll be here in 20 minutes. Tell him what I said. She said, when you get here, she's going to beat you too. Hello? Because I ain't scared of none of these kids. Even the kids in my neighborhood. I live in this nice neighborhood. The kids, you know what the kids call me when they see me? Rodney. Yes. Right, that's what they call me. And then, when I don't respond, because I don't respond to kids like that, I ain't no Mr. I waited all my life to be Mr. Johnson. Did you hear what I just said? All my life, I wanted to be called Mr. Johnson. Because when I was a kid, that's what you called it, though. Mr. McConnell, Mr. Young, Mr. Bennett, I know all of them. Mr. Turner, Mr. Wood, I know all of them. You know, call me Rodney. Then when I don't respond, their parents be like, you hear my son talking to me? I do not talk to people that don't pay bills in this neighborhood. I'm old school, man, and I'm still old school. Even at 59, I'm old school. I was on a cruise about 3 years ago. Some of my former neighbors from Baltimore were on the cruise. As I was walking down the promenade, I saw them. I said, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Mr. and Mrs. Walker. Just then, the cruise director came up, and I said, hey, Ken, these are some of my neighbors from Baltimore. This is Mr. and Mrs. Walker. And Mr. Walker stuck out his hand and said, how you doing, Ken? Zachariah. And I said, wow. I was so moved when I got off the ship. I called his son. I said, Todd, your mother and father were on my cruise this week. I didn't know your father's name was Zachariah. He said, me either. I was talking to Elvis about that a couple of weeks ago, you know. I called him. I said, E, did they call you Mr. President or did they call you Mr. E? So when I turn around, they call me Mr. They call me Elvis. I'm talking about Elvis Presley. You can't tell by my impersonation. I did that joke one night. This lady was offended. Don't talk about Elvis. He's dead. I said, I talk about him because he's alive. No, he is. He actually lives in Wilmington, Delaware now. Got a job right there on 95, working at the toll booth. Every time you give him $1, he'll say, "Thank you very much. I'm not giving you a photo for 2 miles on the right hand side, man. People like, I think that's Elvis. But they don't know it's him because over the years he's changed, you know. He's black now. Y'all got Michael, we got Elvis. If I had to explain that joke, I was walking off the stage. She was mad about that. She says, Michael's dead too. I said, no, Michael's alive. Just that he's invisible now. That was the next color on the chart. Come on, you didn't know what color Michael was. Come on, folks. He had hair blowing in the wind. When the last time you seen a brother hair blowing in the wind? We can be behind a speedboat. Hair ain't going nowhere. Cut his nose. When Michael Jackson had a nose like me, he could sing. You understood all the words in the song. Cut his nose. You didn't know what the heck he was singing. Oh, God! You and me! He never grabbed us up one time when he had a nose like me. Cut his nose, he could grab us up every 7 seconds. You know why? He couldn't breathe. I can deal with the hair, I can deal with the skin. It's the voice. That's why people thought he was strange. If he'd had some bass in his voice, we'd have gave him a package. Seriously, after the Grammys, they were asking the different winners how they wrote the songs. They got to Michael, he said, sometimes I would just say, sometimes not getting a Some of y'all ain't laughing like y'all gonna call her. Hey, Michael, there was this comedian making fun of you. Was it Rodney Johnson? You stand. You stand. There was a song called Black and White. Remember that song? But you know Michael Jackson, I'm telling you, sometimes he didn't understand the lyrics, but he had the grooves, the beats, you know. I wanted to know what he was saying in that one. Black and White. And you remember he came through the fire? I'm getting on here now. I'm getting your murder. I'm getting your murder. Don't. Remember, he was coming through all these this racial tension, and it was the Klan and all kinds of stuff. And you wanted to know, but he was like, I'm getting your murder. I'm getting your murder. I'm getting And I'm saying, what is he saying? Then I got the lyrics, and then what I found out he was saying is, I ain't scared of no brothers. I ain't scared of no sheep. We should all get along. And then I still don't know what Still could never figure that out. And I was thinking to myself, I ain't scared of no sheets either. As long as they're on the bed. Tucked in all the way. I think one of my favorite jokes, man. I wrote that joke for Dave Chappelle, but he didn't use it, so I was still Yeah, Dave used to open for me when I used to come to D.C. a long time ago. I remember when I used to come to, he was like 16 when I first met him. He said, can you take me on the road? I said, son, I'm gonna tell you right now, you're gonna be so huge, I'm gonna have to one day open for you. No, it's no joke there. I just want to let y'all know that. That's how people always ask me, they say, how long you been doing comedy? I've been doing it 38 years, you know. How come you don't have an intro when they introduce you? I said, well, I got an intro, but it's old, you know. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage, a comedian you may have seen on Star Search 92. Even the young people don't even know what that is. That was the first America's Got Talent. Even he knew right there. I mean, I've been around a long time, and like I said, I just go with the flow, you know. Matter of fact, when I leave this ship, the ship that came into Costa Maya, I'm actually working that ship next week. And I'm thankful to be over here. I want y'all to know that right now. I mean, because we got a lot of older people this week, but ours are breathing. When I go to Prince's Oak next week, oh man, the average age of their guest is dead. Oh my God, I remember the first time I did Prince, it scared the heck out of me. And I thought I had walked into the movie Cocoon. Oh, come on, that's funny, come on. I remember the first night I was doing the show, it was two ladies sitting to my right. The whole time I was performing, they weren't laughing, they kept smiling at me. So I stopped the show, I said, you ladies look like you want me. One of them said, I sure do. I said, how old are you? She said, I'm 92. I said, well, unfortunately, I won't date a woman past 90. And then she said, my girlfriend's 89. So she's my third wife. I got two stepkids, 68 and 71. But they was old on that shit. Prince is, oh my God, we didn't do the shows at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm serious, this one you know they old. It'd be 5:30 in the afternoon. You get on the elevator and the older people getting off talking about, good night. I finished the show, I did a show at 4 o'clock. I said, man, why they gotta do shows so early? He said, because we're doing later and people ain't coming. I said, why didn't y'all turn off the lights? I noticed the lights were on the whole time. He said, yeah, because every time we would turn off the lights and put on that spotlight, two guys walked to the light. but the cabinet, I mean, the ships are very solidly built, but the walls between your cabinet very thin. Yes, if you got something going on in yours, I was on that Princess Cruise line. Don't let people fool you. I don't know about this age thing, but them people will get down. I'm serious. It was like 6:45. I heard this noise. I put my ear to the wall. I mean, I just wanted to hear what it sounded like. I did. And then I heard that guy say, "Who's your grandpa?" You can't make this stuff up, man. You can't make it up. And I was in the hallway the next day, though. I just want to see what they look like. I did. I was thinking he probably got some drugs. We got pills for everything. When I was a kid, we had two types of drugs. Pepto pills, no Alka-Seltzer. That was it. Life was simple. Now they got all kinds of. You got bad toenails, you take this drug called Lamisil. Now to say that in 6 to 8 months, you will see improvement in the colors of your toes. Meanwhile, you got diarrhea, nausea, vomiting, self-esteem issues, suicidal thoughts. Even Viagra, beautiful drug, but the side effects is dangerous, man. You ever listen to the commercial? Viagra? Huh? No. If you have an erection lasting longer than 4 to 6 hours, go see the doctor. If that happened to me, I'm going through the neighborhood. I'm not bragging, but hey. That's just the world we live in, man. You know? It ain't me, folks. It's the people around it. I was talking to Sylvester Stallone about that not too long ago. I called Sylvester. I said, "Hey, man, you getting on? You taking any drug?" Hey, you know what? You know what's amazing about Sylvester Stallone? They pay him $20 million a movie, and he sounds the same in every movie. Rocky, you can't fight no more. Hey, buddy. I was looking like I was fighting a little belly. Rambo, they have you surrounded. No, I was here. They let him give away the Lifetime Oscar. Nobody knew who the winner was. Tony Orlando, no, Tony Orlando. You know what the thing about this job, this whole job, man, is just trying to convey the jokes to people so they can understand. But some of the stuff I just don't understand. I was sitting in my room one night watching this documentary about James Brown. And I really felt sorry for James Brown. It's because James Brown went to jail. Not that he was guilty of the crime, it's just that nobody understood him in the courtroom while he was trying to explain. No, I'm serious, it was bad. Mr. Brown, when you tell the members of the jury why you refuse to stop for the police, I have a female on my neck, look at the video, me, man, I know about that. His only friend that came to support him was Bob Dylan. Mr. Dylan, what is your friend trying to tell him? He bad, he ain't even good. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty. Reason? We just couldn't understand. We tried to understand Mr. Brown, but we couldn't. Before I go, I'd like to take this time and thank the 3 people who bought my book on the first night. There's still plenty in the liquor store. If you would like the kids to come home from Ethiopia, you will make your way to the liquor store. But I'm glad y'all laughed at my jokes, man. I'm glad y'all came out. And the good thing about it is, now you know I'm the comedian on the show. That's all I do. I don't know anything else. I'm the comedian on the show. I don't have no other job but to tell jokes. That's the only job I have. So don't ask me to do certain things. That's not in my echelon. No, I'm serious. Like if I'm in the elevator, if you ask me to push the button for you, I do not mind, I will, but it's not my job. I get on the elevator today, I'm up in the window. The lady gets in behind me, she says, I'm going to 6. So I push 2. We get down to 2, she yelled at me, she said, didn't I tell you 6? I said,